So here's our training schedule, and this will be the same next year. We do a budget refresher training kind of at the end of the calendar year. Then we do the appropriations as voted. One session around this time of year, and then another session. Some of the counties actually submit that a little bit later in the summer, so we'll do some sessions then, just as a refresher for the folks that need it then. So generally speaking, all we're going to be doing is converting your resolutions to your appropriations as voted by answering what we call the 3 questions, and we'll look at those in a minute. Then we're just going to go ahead and submit that to the Department of Revenue. They do require a couple supplemental documents, as you know, meeting that sort of thing, so we'll take a look at that. And then we'll take a look at how you can print out these forms to get signature and upload, just like you did for the budget. And something that's a little bit new, that's kind of bringing the counties in line with the rest of the municipal entities, is you'll have access to what's known as an R form after DRA has reviewed all of your appropriations as voted. So that will let you know that they've reviewed everything, concur with all of your numbers, and those are the final numbers that will be used for the tax rate. So I don't think an R form has ever come back to the counties, but that's the process that's been used for all other municipal entities. So this will just kind of bring that in sync, and we'll let you know that DRA has completed their review of the form and they approve of everything. Okay, so converting your resolutions. Back in the budget, you had your resolutions that combined into your 46. And basically what we're doing, and again, in most cases, this will just be one for most counties, but it does support multiples. At annual meeting, through your vote, you're basically converting that into your appropriation. So the 3 questions we look for are, did the resolution pass or fail? Was the resolution amended? And was the amendment financial? We'll take a look at exactly how this looks in the system, but basically those 3 questions tell us everything that we need to know about the appropriations. And if the amendment was financial, that actually unlocks all of the appropriations so that you can edit the numbers that you proposed on your budget if they changed. That all gets combined and produces the appropriations half of the 42. Now, like all of these reports, you can print this out to Word, PDF, or Excel, so you can get all this stuff out of the system very easily. Once we've answered the 3 questions, we'll select View Calculate Appropriations back on the budget homepage, and that will actually calculate everything and create the appropriations portion of the 42 for you. It will prompt you to enter in your appropriations from the prior year. These will be automatically populated for you next year since we'll have them from this year in. For this 1 year, you'll have to key those in. You'll also have to put in your actual priors from the 5. So once you're all done with that, you'll click Continue to Step 2 and Finalize, and that will wrap you up with the appropriations portion of the 45. I'm sorry, the 42. Our next step will be adding revenues, which the system will take you right to revenues as soon as you complete your appropriations. And it'll be a screen that's very similar to all the other screens. It will give you your account codes, and it will have pulled in your estimated revenues from the budget. So those will be presented right here in the account code table. You'll be able to put in notes if necessary about those. You also have down here in the summary table, this is where you'll enter your fund balance to reduce taxes, and we'll take a look at that. And then down here, you can save and return to home if you're not ready to submit, or you can submit for review. So submitting for review will lock all these numbers down and basically notify DRA that you have completed your 42. They will still be looking for those additional documents from the meeting. We'll take a look at those, and that will trigger them to go in and do their review. So just kind of zooming in at that bottom summary, this is where you enter your fund balance to reduce taxes. It's right off here to the left. It shows up on the right and then updates your total. So actually submitting the 42 is really easy. It's that submit button right down there after you put in your revenues, and that will submit all of this data off to DRA. Printing the appropriations as voted, really simple. You can either print it from the Home tab or from the Budget tab. There's links to the Appropriations report. You want to make sure, though, that before you click this, you've clicked the View Calculate button, because that's actually what tabulates all the totals for the report. If you finalized, you can be sure they're all totaled and locked down. The report will look pretty similar to the 42 that you're used to. It definitely has all the same content. The layout is slightly different. It now matches all of the other reports in the system, but all of the same information. It will have that draft watermark in the upper right if you haven't finalized. Once you finalize, that goes away. So the idea being that once you know that you're ready for signature, you'll click the Submit button. That will remove the draft watermark, and then you're ready for signature, printing out this form, getting your signatures, and then uploading it. In that manner, we know that after you submit, the numbers are locked in the system, so we know that they'll match exactly what you're getting sign-off for. So that's kind of the workflow there. And again, the DRA approval, once you have submitted the form and your supplemental meeting documents, DRA will be reviewing everything. And once they're complete, you'll get access to the R version of the form, which just has an additional column that says DRA Revised Appropriations, and it will show if any adjustments were made, which I don't think they typically are to counties and cities, but if anything came up, you'd have total clarity into what the result of their review was. So that is the process at a high level. Basically, what we're doing is taking the numbers you put on the budget, adjusting them if we need to, and submitting the form. So pretty straightforward. And I'm going to go ahead and hop into the system now. I am already logged in here, and I'm just going to use Carroll County as an example. This is our demo server, so nothing here is live, nothing will impact the county. So we can see here, just to orient you a little bit to the system, on the left-hand side of the screen here, we have summaries of what you're doing in each of the tabs here. Your budget home is where you do your budgeting and appropriations. These are financial home is where your revenues are. Settings is where you add new users, etc. And these all correspond directly to the tabs up top. You also have your status over here for your DRA reviews. So you can see if you've been pre-reviewed. You can also get your contact information for your advisor over here. Now, I mentioned that there are some other documents that DRA needs before they can complete the review. Those are shown right here. They'll be looking for the county delegation meeting minutes, a signed copy of the budget. If you attended the first training, you'll recall we are not able to fully accept an e-file for municipal governments because it's, in most cases, a board or a delegation that's signing off on it. So we do need most likely a scanned copy with the actual signatures on it. So that's the same for the budget and for the appropriations. You can just upload them right here. And then here is where you will see your DRA approved appropriation, that new R form that I talked about. That will appear right here as soon as DRA has completed their review. So this kind of gives you an idea of what DRA needs. If there's no upload button, that means that this is a document that's generated by the system. If there is an upload, that means that we're looking for you to upload it. I know these due dates might look a little bit funny to some of you. These are the actual due dates. I know that you guys need your budget well before September of the following year, but all this stuff is due at the same time to DRA, basically just in time for them to set the tax rate setting. That being said, of course, it's appreciated to get the stuff in early because that lets DRA get started on their review a little bit earlier and take some of the stress off the tax rate time. Okay, so you want to do your appropriations. What do you do? Well, first we'll go to our budget home, and you should see a green band up top. This lets you know that you have that you're in appropriations, that we're ready to put in that town meeting information. If you still see a red band and it says resolution drafting, you just need to click the View Calculate Budget and finalize your budget. I went and checked. I think almost everybody's already completed this, but green band lets you know that you're in appropriations. So we'll go into our operating budget resolution here. And here are the 3 questions. And you'll notice up here we're red. We have an appropriations as voted of 30 million, but we're not calculating any sort of value from down below because we have not answered our 3 questions. So did it pass? sure it passed. Was it amended? If I select no, it was not amended, that will leave the appropriations as voted in our account code table down below locked so that you won't be able to edit them. So if I select yes, it was amended, then the question is, was the amendment financial? So basically what we're saying here is, do we need to unlock those numbers from the budget so that you can update them based on the annual meeting? So if I click yes, that will unlock the fields down below so that I can edit them and update them. And it will display the budget numbers to the left for comparison, so you don't have to enter those. What we've done is basically populate them over, so all you have to do is adjust them if you need to. If your budget got passed completely fine without a hitch, you can click Save at Home. Aha, another detail. I said that there was a financial amendment, but I didn't say why or what, so it will prompt you to put in some sort of an explanation there if you did say that there was an amendment. We will go Save and Home, and that's all that's required to get the appropriation side into the 42. So now we'll click the View Calculate Appropriations. It will bring us in here, show us our appropriations. We will either continue to step 2 if we're done, or you can Save and Home if you want to go back and make changes to it later. But if we want to finalize our appropriations, continue to step 2. We'll finalize. It says, are you sure you want to finalize? Yes, for sure. And what it's done now is brought us directly over to our revenues so that we can enter our current year estimates for revenues. And again, this pulls over the numbers right from your budget. So if you're happy with those numbers, if those are still accurate, you don't need to adjust them. Here's our fund balance to reduce taxes, so we can put that in right here. You can also add in any notes you have about each account code. So every account code line has notes to it. If you make adjustments here and you want to see the update, you just click the Recalculate button over here, and that will retabulate the total. Of course, Save and Refresh also does that, and Submitting for Review also reruns the total. So basically, any of these buttons over here or the Recalculate will retabulate all the totals and display them down here for you. So if you're done with your revenue portion and you're ready to submit to DRA, we'll just click the Submit for Review, and that will finalize your whole 42 for you. And now if we go back to our little table, our 42 is submitted. If I click View Report, either from here, which this is probably the easiest place, right on the Home tab. It's very clear what the form is. We have our 42 pretty much exactly as it's always looked. And then moving on to our revenues and the total estimated revenues at the end, and then your summary at the very last. So the last piece here is, how do you get that out of the system? Well, you have the little save icon right over here. So you can export out to Word, Excel, PDF. If you're trying to get signatures, I would recommend going out to PDF. That is usually the cleanest format. And this is just save the PDF right down here for me. So that gives you a pretty clean view right over here. Now, if you've gone through all this and you submitted it for review and you realize, uh-oh, this is not getting signed off, I need to get back into it, you can just send an email off to us, support at Axiom NH, and I'll show that email in just a second. We can unlock that for you very easily. So don't panic if you get locked out. It literally just takes a minute or two to get it editable again, so you can make whatever updates you need to and resubmit. So that is the basic process. Let me just go through here. For doing revenues. So basically start on your budget tab, go into your resolution, answer the 3 questions, update any numbers you need to. Then we do the View Calculate Appropriations, submit that. Then you go on and do your revenues and submit that. You do have access to the report here as well. The report buttons are always blue. So you have your View Appropriations report, so you can access it from the Budget tab as well. But this is probably the easiest place. And again, here is where you'll upload your signed copy. So the uploads are fairly straightforward. We'll just click Upload Attachment. It'll automatically select what you said you wanted to upload. You can put it in your notes if you need to, and then it's basically just your standard like email attachment dialogue that will upload it for you. And again, DRA won't begin their review until they have the delegation minutes and the signed copy. So once you have that and your appropriations are finalized, that's their signal that you're ready for them to take a look, and they take a look at all of that stuff together. So with that, that completes the training. What I'm going to do is just put up some info here for you. So you have some contact info and resources. Here's the DRA's website. This has some information about the system from DRA's point of view. There's also a technical support page, and I can send out the link to both of these so you guys don't have to scurry to try to write them down. I know they're a little bit long. Of course, your municipal advisor at DRA and supervisor are available to you as always. The system is certainly not meant to preclude contact with them. Please feel free to reach out to them. You also have support through my office. The best way is probably support@axiomnh.com. That sends out a ticket to all of our help desks, and they will get back to you very promptly. So the distinction between when you contact your advisor and when you contact Axiomatic support, if you have questions regarding what you should do from a legal standpoint, you know, how to treat certain appropriations, technical questions such as that, that would go to DRA, your advisor. If you're having trouble with the system, you don't know how to do something, it does not seem to be working properly, you need login information, that type of stuff, you can send off a email to support@axiomnh.com, and we can assist you with that. I also do want to close with, before we open it up for any questions, this is the first year that we're doing this with counties, so if there's stuff that's awkward or doesn't meet, you know, your business practice, please let us know. If there are things that need to be adjusted, we can certainly look at that. We're not trying to make anything difficult, we're trying to make it easier. So if there are any pain points, please feel free to reach out and let us know so that we can get those taken care of. So with that, that's all that I have prepared. So like I said, we did record this, so we'll process that and distribute the recording to everybody so you can take a look at it afterwards. And happy to take any questions for myself or for Bruce Knur at DRA. Stunned silence. Okay, well, if there is nothing further, we'll go ahead and end the training and get these links, both for the recording and for these websites for information off to you. And please do not hesitate to reach out if you need any assistance or have any questions. All right, well, thank you all very much for taking the time, and have a wonderful rest of the morning.
Thank you.